Hi, I'm Polly Jean Harrison, and we are here at Money20 in Las Vegas. Would you like to introduce yourself for us, please?
Hi, thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. So my name is Joao Pinto. I am one of the founders of EbankIT, so a company that we launched in 2014. I'm as well a shareholder, and I am an executive board member. So I've got the practices of sales, pre-sales, partnerships, and marketing that respond to me. Yeah, it's been a great journey here all these years with EbankIT, and we obviously keep growing and getting more departments and more stronger structure.
Fantastic stuff. Well, it's fantastic to have you here today. How have you found the event so far?
The event has gone very well for us, so it is good to see so many people. So we were here last year just as an attendee. It was still, more pandemic thing, so not as many people. This year it was very busy. We managed to get, a lot from, our presence, the sessions, lead generation, partnerships, investment side. So it's been, very good from our side.
Fantastic. And what was the inspiration behind founding the company? What problem were you trying to solve?
So we started EbankIT. We launched in 2014, but we started before that. So we were in another company that we use like an incubator. We were sorting out problems for the financial institutions on the digital sector, which is something that I worked since 1994, so it's many, many years. And we decided, we doing bespoke development. Let's create something that accelerates the development, that makes it easier for banks to do the digital transformation. At the same time, they've got the flexibility to take their own pace, adjust, be different to the other banks, bring all this innovation that is coming to, without the burden or the cost of the people that if they're going to do it themselves. So it's like, when you look at digital banking and omnichannel now, you know what the market has, what is in place, what is required for you. But then you look 3 years down the line, and there's going to be many innovations coming. And then as an institution, there's obviously two ways you can position yourself. One, you got a big research department and going to try out what's going to come, how do we build it, how we don't build it, how we're going to adjust that. Or you rely on companies that focus on that, like it's our case. Our focus is looking at the omnichannel space, what's going to come next, how we're going to build it, how we're going to deploy. So then our customers have an easy solution. Oh, it's great, I want to take this now. Or no, I think that's probably still advanced for our type of journey we do it. Probably we're going to take this a few years later. So that's the space that we are working, and that's the gap we try to fill, and we are filling it in the market.
Fantastic. And what are the benefits of having a more engaged banking customer?
Yes. So when we look at all this journey that financial institutions are having, we can go to the traditional banking of going to the branch, then digital solutions starts to appear in the late 90s, 2000s, so people were great. I can see my balance on the internet, or I can, the smartphones, the phones came, people, great, I can, check balances and do other things on my mobile phone. And what we see now is a completely different generation. So it's a generation that many of them haven't probably been to a branch. Many of them, expect to have access to payments, expect to have access to their balance, access to subscription, just, at any time, anywhere, doing that. So when you look at this type of customers, if they are engaged with you, if they follow you as an institution, what they're going to be asking, they want, you to communicate the way that they expect. So, show me the products that are relevant, show me the functionalities that are relevant. And by getting an audience and clients are more engaged with you, they are, going to do more business with you. So they're going to subscribe products from you. Again, there's lots of competition in the market. They're likely to stay again with you. And I think that's the journey that the financial institutions are going to have, is engage your clients, make sure that you offer them all that you need. And from that, you're going to have more loyalty. You're going to have higher revenues as well, and making sure that that client will do their journey or their financial journey with you.
Fantastic. And how does EbankIT help banks and credit unions offer humanizing digital experiences and banking experiences?
That's a good question. So following the topic I was mentioning before, if you look about digital, if you look about engaging with clients, so you got to a stage where you got an app and you see the functionality. So you can see, I can check my balance. And then there's many other functionalities there that the users many times don't get it. It's difficult to access, or they face a problem and they don't know what to do. So now The problem with the financial institution is just not saying, oh, I've got digital presence. Oh, you can go this. No, it's one step further is how I can make sure that when you do that, you've got contact, humanized person as a bank. So if we talk something as personalization, it's a great feature. So I can choose the colors, choose the pictures I want to see. So I want to look at like people, look at screensavers of people's phones. There's always a picture of something. So they feel that as something that they own, something that's personalized. So we provide that as well on banking apps. So they can choose the picture that they want. When they log in, probably that the picture as well will appear. And that's obviously a personalization and security feature, because they know if they see that picture, it's not a phishing mechanism. Then, you look at the functionalities offered there. So I want to see sometimes of balance or sometimes of functionality. I just want to see those. Yet the rest, the bank can offer me lots of things, but I don't want to see them. So I want to be able to personalize that and go in that way. Second step, today I have to do this specific transaction, bill payment or something like that. I don't know. I've never done it before. How do I do it? How do I find it? How do I know it's there? It's difficult. In a normal world, you either go to a branch and ask me, I want to do this, or you call the contact center how to do this. But this has to be offered digitally. This has to be offered, via your app. And similarly, you face a problem. So I'm doing this payment, gave me an error, try it again, gave me an error, try it again, gave me an error. What happens then? Is your bank going to contact you? Am I going to have an online help that says, I can see you doing this, give some proactive thing in terms of the user? Many banks don't do this. So that's something the user tries, user gets frustrated, will try to do it in different channel, even a different bank. So he's missing that sense of humanizing, make sure that it's not only the technology, but how, as a client, as an end user, you feel the organization is behind you, understands your problems, understands your journey, understands you're trying to do that, and how do they help you? So this could be talking here about features as well in terms of humanizing bank that we offer to our solutions, and that have a great impact. And let's say many of them are just natural human behavior. It's like, as a person, I face this situation, what I would expect to happen next. And financial organizations as well think like this, will help them sort out this and make sure that the client is digital, is still connecting to the financial organization.
Fantastic. And I know EbankIT is licensed in over 10 different countries. Are there any examples of some unique challenges from each of these different places?
So the good thing from our side is when we built the EbankIT platform, the majority of the functionalities we embedded in the product were already looking in terms of multicultural, multi-currency, multi-language, different aspects of banking. So from that sense of the base platform, it has proven well to adjust to these markets. Then every time to go to a different market, there's always a localization that needs to be done. So it's how is a payment performed in a country compared to the other? How is the security? How is the login? How do I notify the clients? So all these things are specific to each country. So it requires an effort to localize that, and an effort to make sure that you adjust to the country and not the other way around. Okay, we're successful in this country with this functionality, this is the way you're going to have it. No, it's always looking at that region, how it can be performed, how it can be doing things differently. So, for example, when we enter the Arabic markets, we have to get Arabic language. We have menus and other functionalities that work, right to left and left to right. So all these things were challenges that you have to bring that, and is an impact that you do on each of these countries. Thinking, if there's a specific functionality that will be really different, I'm sure there's going to be examples. But it's things, like payments, login, how security features. I remember the market that we enter, and for us having a second factor of authentication was normal, and that institution was the first one to introduce that in that market, and that created a big ripple for them. Why? Because they were the first one to say, look, normally you just log in with a username and a password, and now there's something else, either an OTP in specific context that you have to fill, either a push notification that links you to a code. And that was a struggle for the market itself. People were upset. So in that sense was required a level of preparation for the users, even understanding that these transformation was big for the markets. And so I would say here, the important challenge was to communicate with the end users, make sure that they understood why, what they have to do, and at the same time be prepared that your contact center might be getting lots of calls of people said, I've always done the same thing, and today he's asking me something different. What's happening here? So it's one of the challenges as well that goes on these points. And yeah, I presume all these implementations, all these markets have got a big part of the process, which is all this change management. How do I make sure that my clients, the bank clients, understand what the financial institution is changing and why they're doing that? So,
yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to know, do you think the metaverse can play a role in the banking universe? I feel like that's quite a big topic at the moment.
Yeah, I think metaverse is a big topic in the industry, in the world. So the concepts of it, I think, not as evolved, but we're here as well for some time trying to create as well, another way to interact with users where they can have their own functionalities and view of the world. So I think this is going to be part of our lives, whether it's going to be metaverse, there's going to be the one that breaks it, whether it's going to be something else afterwards, we don't know, but we see that's going to be a place that people are going to use. And when you look then to a place like this, is obviously you're going to need different parts of services you go. You can start with the usual, media, the videos, people interacting with each other. And then at the stage, there's going to be financial services. It's already are, so it's okay. So how do you perform those financial services? You can start obviously with all cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and then financial institutions see, okay, my user is using this channel, it is present there. So how can I help my clients to be part of that? How can he be on the metaverse and suddenly he remembers, okay, but I had something to do, I had a payment to do not on the metaverse, on our universe, and you can link that to the financial institution to make that functionality. So I think it's going to be this interesting part in terms of challenge, how you give functionality for the metaverse itself, and how then you bring as well you as a brand, as an organization in the metaverse, linking to the real world. And I think that's going to be a challenge, and I'm sure financial institutions and all other organizations are looking to this new placement, and they're going to be present there.
Yeah, fantastic. And following on from that vein, when we think about sort of digital technology in financial institutions, as a fintech provider, what do you think some of the upcoming trends are going to be in this space?
So we, as a company, we always been innovation has been part of our DNA. So we always go to our labs, go to different technologies, give different functionalities, create something or test something, prototype something, sometimes test the market, go to events and say, look, we are using this new functionality, what is the reaction? So when we look now at different functionalities that will come in the market, a big chunk is going to be about humanizing. So it's not providing just the functionalities as a digital channel, but how you make sure that your users feel part of it, how you make sure that we are gathering the other part of, I'm in my financial app and I am contacting with my bank when I need. I've got a problem, I need help, how do I help me? So all this part is going to be important. The other aspects I think is going to be important as well is part of the financial sector, checking balance, payments, that's probably what people use the majority of the day. It's going to be seen as a commodity, as something that you expect to have almost anytime, anywhere, probably in any device, And so I think it's something that's going to be embedded in other places. So when you talk about embedded finance, there's a lot to do with that. So I want to pay you something. I want to pay you lunch from yesterday, but I don't want to think, give me your details, your account number, or where I'm going to get from what account I'm going to pay for that. No, I just want to, okay, I owe you this amount of money, here it is. So, and this could be done in many different ways. It could be done, in the channel that we're using to communicate, whether it's one of these chat channels, whether it is, other channels that we use, but this is what you want to do. So I think this part is going to be more and more part of our daily lives, is using these aspects of financial services as something that we expect to happen in a simple way without having to remember, oh, I have to do all these steps and I have to get all these questions, I have to all this. So to make a simple thing as, people would say on normal world or without being digital, pick up the wallet, take a few notes, here it is. So that's how I see that one part of it is going to evolve and it's going to keep transforming our lives. And again, more and more financial products will come. We'll give you that functionality to go with that. So it's been interesting these past years with all these cryptocurrencies and how, you see many providers that, you've got your currency, you can have crypto, and for you it's the same. Now you can transfer from one account to the other, or I think this is a good thing, or that merchant gives me a better deal if I pay with this type of currency, why not using it? So all these functionalities are going to be more and more part of our lives and make it what users want, simple, So that's what I think is going to play a big role on our future.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to chat.
Thank you very much. Great to be here in Las Vegas and hoping that we can meet again on another event like Money 2020.